Thank you all for coming. We've got some exciting stuff happening here at Bamboo. We're going to do about a 30-minute webinar tops. We're going to look at first sort of a little bit of background on who Bamboo is, how we develop our products, a quick tour of the website, and then we're going to get right into the new AI product that we've been developing, along with that technology and how we're implementing it in other products. Not to jump on the AI bandwagon, as a way of catching attention, but as we all know, AI is becoming more and more important. And here at Bamboo, what we love to do is build low-cost, high-value solutions that take advantage of all the things that Microsoft has to offer in a leaner way. Sometimes these products last for 5, 7 years, and then they become obsolete. But we love filling those gaps and providing an experience that's unique for your users with our products. So with that said, let's get started on what we have to show today. Just some housekeeping. There is a little chat area on Teams. If you want to ask questions, I'll try to answer them. If not, I'll answer them after. But you can use the QA section or the chat section. Either way, I'll be sort of monitoring that for any questions that come up. All right. A little bit about Bamboo. So we're a leading provider of enterprise software applications and consulting services for SharePoint and Microsoft 365. We serve both large and small customers. Over 8,000 organizations have downloaded our products over the years. That's since, 2007, I want to say, when we started developing products for Moss and WSS. We are currently a gold partner. We are always going to be some sort of partner, although they are changing that program next year to be called something different. But whatever it is, we'll be there for you all. We always like to say our experience makes us best in class. That is, we've been doing this for a long time. We've seen a lot of farms and we've seen a lot of SharePoint Online sites at this point. We're a team of about 40 folks, so we're not that big of a company, but we do like to punch above our weight, and that includes both our consulting division as well as our products division. Very good customer satisfaction, lots of repeat buyers. We love it when people come into the Bamboo family and the like. So just the architecture across all of our 25 products for SharePoint Online. They are SPFx solutions that run in your SharePoint Online environment. There's no connection to Bamboo. These are not SaaS services. They're not PaaS services. These are fully compliant SPFx products that run in SharePoint from your app catalog. You can download most of our products from the App Store. They are usually about a release behind because Microsoft takes their time putting them up there, but they are also all available on our website at bamboosolutions.com. We've got 16 products, 16 of the 25 products, I think, on the App Source at this point. We have 30-day full trials for all of our products. And note that these products are not add-ins. Add-in support is going away with SharePoint in, I think, April of next year. These are SPFx solutions, which is the best practices for Microsoft and the fully supported way for third-party tools to run within SharePoint Online as well as Microsoft 365. So you can see over here, this is SPFx-based functionality. It complies with all the SharePoint security rules and permissioning. That gets deployed into your app catalog at the tenant or site collection level. You then add that, just like any other web part, to your page. You configure it, and then the customers access it as they do any page within SharePoint to see the product. So really a nice, security, safe, best practices way to develop products. We've got 2 ways of licensing all of our products. We've got a perpetual license model for those that want to use capital money. And we also have a subscription model, which is a lower cost subscription, which is a yearly fee for access to one or many products. For the subscription pricing, everything we price is a single price for your entire tenant. You can have as many instances of our product accessed by as many users as you want. So there is no sort of pay per user in our subscription. We do have additional fees if you're over 2,000 users, between 2,000 and 10,000, or 10,000 to 100,000, or over 100,000. And we do have some customers with over 100,000 users out there, and it just takes more support and tickets. So think of it as an additional support fee that is at the account level. You can create your own bundle. So if you want to buy 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 products at once, we do offer significant discounts on your subscription. It does include support as well as training, configuration, installation, and the like. And so just so you get an idea of magnitude, here's some subscription plans. If you're a small business under 100 folks or a not-for-profit under 300, this is the price for any one web part, $878 a year, $14.90 for two, or $17.58. This is a yearly prepay. If you're up to 2,000 SharePoint users, you can see the pricing down here. So again, very low cost, high value products. We know that they get a ton of use out there, and the full subscription is on our website, which I'll show you in a second for all the different pricing. The perpetual licensing is a one-time payment that gets you a perpetual license to the product plus first-year support. Second-year support is 22% of that cost. Now, we do have that additional fee if you are over 2,000 folks. This is a per account fee per year, not per product, right? So if you have 5 products, you would only pay this once in addition to the product cost and maintenance. And you can see those pricing here. That is also on our website and linked everywhere, so you can see what that looks like. All right, so we got 2 pricing models. We're not selling this product yet, but we are looking for folks to work with to beta and trial it and give us their feedback, because I think we've taken the AI product as far as we can in our labs. And we would love to discuss with you what the product does, how it works, and let you trial it. And where we're going with it. What's nice is all of our products do come with a free product called Tenant Manager, BTM as we call it. This gives you license management and usage statistics for all of our products in your tenant. So what does that mean, right? A central location to license each of your products, so you don't have to license each instance within your tenant. And then also telemetry data. So we can see here the number of products installed, products that have a license that's expiring, most viewed products, total views. And then you can actually drill into one of the products, let's say, the Chat AI product, and see how many URLs that's actually installed on within your tenant. All this information is a web part within your tenant. We don't have access to it. We don't want to have access to it, but it's used for you to justify the utilization of the product, to find out where it is, and the like. So really neat, distinctive feature that really shows our B2B nature of what we do out there. Again, this whole meeting is being recorded, so I will send out a recording link afterwards, as well as publish the one within Teams. All right, we haven't named this thing yet. You'll see Bamboo Wizard, you'll see Panda AI, you'll see Chat AI. Regardless of what we're going to call it, we'll just call it Product X for now. What was the challenge we were trying to solve? So the challenge came from a lot of our customers, really on the services side, where we would build FAQs, we would build inventory data, things with Power Apps that was storing in lists, et cetera, et cetera. And it was like, what is an easy way to add an AI experience to our SharePoint sites? It was a very simple question that we were asked over and over again. And that AI needs to understand questions in natural languages, right? Results pulled from SharePoint pages, documents, and lists, and easy integration without development overhead. So that was sort of the challenge that became the foundation for this product. So there really are 2 approaches to solving it, right? The first is you can go buy Copilot, right? It's great for native integration at the enterprise level. It requires a Microsoft 365 Copilot license, which is about $30 per user per month, and it really installs it kind of everywhere. It is embedded directly in 365 and Word, Outlook, Teams, and SharePoint. There's some free stuff that's always out there for you to ask questions, but it's very directed at this point. And it's also very user-oriented, so it really can't be admin controlled in terms of the customizations and how answers are presented and the like. So what we wanted to do was create a web part that could utilize SharePoint and SPFx, but also Azure OpenAI, as well as other AI LLMs that are out there that you may want to use for certain situations, and create a chatbot that queries indexed SharePoint content. Now, right now, we're working with list data only. So we're using just SPFx. Our idea is to also attach it to the Graph API and Search API to pull data from SharePoint. and embed it directly within your SharePoint site so it becomes a natural extension of the user experience within SharePoint. So what we offer in this Bamboo Wizard Project X is for customers that are not ready to fully implement Microsoft Copilot just because they want to dip their toe in the water with AI, or the cost is really expensive, or they want a more directed experience, to give them a ChatGPT-like experience for their users. For those that have embraced AI but want to curate the AI experience for users versus only giving them access to a chat interface, that is, you want to present data from AI in a consistent format against data that gives the insights without having to ask questions, that's really where we're at right now. If you're not ready to fully release AI into your organizations, but you are using ChatGPT today, or using Grok, or using Google AI, this is a great way to put that functionality against your list data in a protected way, right within SharePoint. So the different LLMs also are really great because depending on the analysis you need of your data, there are certain ones that we're finding are more accurate, better, and the like. And within our product, you can also configure the level of interpretation or exactness that you want the answers to be, depending on what the use case is for that particular list or library. So very cool. We're going to see it in action. We're going to show you all the configuration and things like that. But again, really the outcome of this is to give you an understanding of what we're building and have built, but also elicit any sort of feedback through a conversation and proof of concept trial, to put this within your tenant against your data, and tell us what you love, what you need, what's the most important thing, and things like that. So, so what it does right now is this AI-powered assistant enables users to ask questions. Well, actually allows you to configure questions such as, what is the status of our open IT tickets against the list data, or who's managing the marketing budget for Q3? And rather than having to develop those queries, you can actually just put those queries into the chat and get answers back that are imagined by the LLM you've attached to, and give the information in real time back to the users, right? Ultimately, we're going to link to those lists and the relevant records, but paired with simple search that you'll see today, you can actually get to those relevant records pretty easily, and the like. So our current MVP is focusing on SharePoint list data only, simply because grabbing the inside of documents in a document library to send to an LLM adds a lot of overhead, and we want to make sure we're not throttling these things, or it's performant, or really what is really the goal for it. So the MVP allows us to focus on list data, get the experience where we need it to be, and then begin expanding to document libraries, then to the Graph API, so that we can look at Teams data and other things, and bring all that information that is back. So if we look at the sort of the setup, right? The Bamboo Wizard is the SPFx web part, right? It is looking at list data. It is formulating that data into something that is accessible for all the major LLMs that are out there. And then it brings the response back formatted in a SharePoint table, list, library, however best to do it for the user. Ultimately, we're going to connect to Graph API, which would then give us access to all of these other data sources within 365. But again, we're trying to develop an MVP, have the discussions with our clients to find out, are we on track? What do we need to do? So what are some of the use cases for this that we're going to see today, as well as that you can imagine? Let's say you've got a whole list of tasks against projects, right? So you can query that task list and say, hey, what's the current status of all projects due this month, right? Who's managing the budget for Project Atlas? And any other question that you want to ask related to the data. Another great use case is operations and issues tracking insights. So if you're tracking tickets or outstanding issues with clients and you've got a very large list, you can ask our wizard to summarize all open IT issues for the past 7 days. What are the root causes of downtime in May? And it does begin to imagine relationships between the data and present answers. But just like with any AI, some LLMs do it better than others. Some of the configuration of temperature settings also improve the answers, and things like that. So again, we're trying to allow you to curate the experience based on the questions the users need, and the type of data that we're feeding. Directory assistance with employees and HR, right? So if you got a list of employees, their skills, where they live, their favorite pizza toppings, what sports they like, anything like that, you can begin prompting questions against that data, such as who joined the company in the last 90 days, which employee is certified in Power BI, who knows Power BI and lives in Barcelona, right? So all these things allow the data to be related together and presented back. Knowledge-based applications are far and wide, right? Against FAQs, against knowledge bases. And people can ask questions such as, how do I submit an invoice? What's the company policy for travel? Et cetera, et cetera. So that becomes pretty interesting. So while we have built this new product, right, the technology that we have in the product is also being extrapolated into other products that we currently have. And the first two that we started working on for a proof of concept is our knowledge base product. And there's 2 points of entry for AI within the KB product that we've added. One is to provide a chat box interface. So that, again, this is not curated. This is something users can ask to provide answers, not links to articles, against the KB article list. So currently within our KB product, you can do a full text search, you can do a fuzzy search, but again, that's looking for words and then brings back a list of articles where those words match. Imagine taking the content of those articles and being able to ask a ChatGPT-like question where it interprets the data within the articles and provides just an answer back against that data. In addition, when you open an article, we've got AI at the top of each article now that will actually provide a summary of that article for the user, or a little preview, so that they can, decide if they want to begin reading that article or not. Now, everything we're doing within our products allow you to toggle the AI on or off, because some people don't want AI in their organization, and that's fine. It does not just do AI. You do have to put an API key, and you've got to link it up to an LLM. So even if it's in there, it really can't do anything until you configure it with an LLM. So you do have full control over it within our products. We're also adding the AI component to our simple search product, which allows you to search text in a Boolean way against list data or document metadata. But we're going to add what you're going to see today to the simple search, so that you can actually do natural language queries against the list data to get answers back that are not just a list of hits, right? So that's really the big thing between the two data. So let's take a quick tour of our website, and then we'll get into each of the use cases and show you the configurations of how things actually work. So first, let's take a look at our website. So here at bamboosolutions.com, we've got a list of our services as well as of our products that are here. Under our products, the blue products on the left are our SharePoint Online products. The green products on the right are for 2016, 19, and subscription edition SPFx that we still support over 50 products for those as well. But most of our development time is now going to the SharePoint Online products. Over here, we've got our small business pricing, we've got our subscription pricing, and the perpetual pricing is on each of our products that are out here. So if you look at all the products, you can see a nice list of all of our products that we have for SharePoint Online. And we've got some free products on here, but we've got over 25 products that do some amazing things. But if you are interested in one of these products, let's say Simple List Search, you click on the product page. You can actually grab your trial from this button down here on the left. Just simply open up the Bamboo Shopper, grab the trial right here if you want to purchase. Here's the perpetual license pricing for the product. We can also do quotes and POs if you want, but we've got movies on here, some key things. But the perpetual license for this is $3,995, one-time fee. Year 2 support is 22%. Or the single product is $878 a year for subscription if you're a small business. But it is also available in our full subscription program. By clicking here, you can see the price of the subscription for a single product, 2 products, 3 products, 4, 5, 6. If you're in this tier, that tier, or this tier down here. What's nice is the subscription program is completely self-service as well. So you can select if you're a small business and the level you want. So let's say you're over you're not a small business, but you're under 2,000 folks and you want to buy 2 web parts, you do that. You pick your tier of what size you are. You can do your 1 year billed monthly or 1 year paid up front. And then you add your cart, checkout. You can manage your subscription with your credit card. It's very easy to do. You can cancel at any time, which will end it after the 1 year commitment, or you can upgrade it, downgrade it. And what's nice about our subscription program is in a year on your renewal, if you bought 4 products and one of the products isn't being fully utilized, you can switch it out for any one of our other products or downgrade it to 3 or whatever you want to do. So you get a lot of flexibility as opposed to a perpetual license where once you buy it, you own it, and off you go. So pretty much the way the pricing works, a subscription is somewhat equivalent to 3 to 4 years of a perpetual license with maintenance. But you're paying for it again, either monthly or yearly. So it's a nice way to go and gives you a little more flexibility. We're seeing a lot more customers purchase through the subscription program versus perpetual licensing, but it really depends on what your organization wants to do. Okay. Let's take a look first at a list. And the first list we're going to look at is an employee list. First of all, are there any questions so far or before we get in here? Because we are at 22 minutes and we want to make sure we stay close to 30 minutes on this. All right, I don't see any questions yet. But here's a standard SharePoint list, right? So in this, we've got an email, first name, last name, a hire date. We've got some certifications listed. We've got projects that they're working on. We've got what department they work in, languages spoken, hours per week that are available, interests, and favorite pizza. So you could see this list being updated or managed by a Power Automate flow, or being synced with data from Bamboo HR, right? The other product by Bamboo, not us, and the like. So really just a nice bunch of data in here, right? So of course you've got your sorting that you can do in here, but let's take a look at the output of Bamboo Wizard first, and then we'll look at its configuration against this list. So in this case, we've asked the AI chatbot to say, what is our most popular pizza flavor, right? So if we look in the list, right, we do have all their favorite pizza toppings down here, right? And it interpolated that cheese was the most popular flavor. We also asked it, what were the employees hired during 2025? And it created this table, which matches your SharePoint colors, that gave the pertinent columns that show who were hired in 2025. Then we asked who can speak Spanish, which is here, and we can see that they've all speak Spanish as well. And then we said, all right, who has an AWS certification who can speak Spanish? And it found Alice right here, who both has a certification in AWS as well as JavaScript and Power Automate, but also speaks Spanish, right? So this is the output from the wizard. So how did we get this, right? So let's go ahead and edit this page, and we will find the Bamboo Wizard web part sits right here. Looks just like this. Kind of cool. And we've got a configuration tool over here. Now this is where the magic happens, right? So the first thing we do is we give it the source of where the list is, right? So that's there. And then we just simply fill in what are the questions that our users are going to want answers to. So again, this is not really the chat interface, which we haven't developed yet, but this is a curated experience that allows you to ask the questions that are relevant to the people that are visiting this page, right? So if it was on a project page, we're going to want to know these 8 or 9 project questions in real time against the list data in the background for everybody coming in. If it's an HR site and you've got these basic questions that need to be answered over and over again, that's what the prompt does in there. Now in the back, this is where you choose your AI provider, right? So for MVP, we're using ChatGPT right now, but you can see we provided the API key, which is our subscription to ChatGPT. And then we've got access to all of our different models, right? And depending on the model, whether you're using 4.1 Nano Mini or the smartest model, or 3.5 Turbo, you're going to get different imagined answers out there. But you can also change the temperature of those answers, where 0 to 0.5 is more deterministic for counting. And then up here to 2.0 is more creative, unique, and less deterministic in there. So once you've added your questions, when you access the page, let me republish it, what you'll see happen is the Bamboo Wizard is grabbing that list data and formatting it out of SharePoint so it becomes data that the LLM can recognize in a meaningful way. It's going through the prompts and gathering those answers and then presenting those answers to the user in the format it believes is best to interpret your question. So a lot of times when we're setting these up, we can change the question so that it says present this data in a table format or present this data, in a graphical format. So you can do all the things you can do in ChatGPT to get the data curated in a way that's meaningful for your users against that list data that's out there. All right. So pretty interesting, pretty cool. We are working on ways to cache the answers so it's not running it every time. We're also working on ways to make it more of a way to ask questions against the results, right? So there's lots of things we want to do, but what we want to do is work with customers to find out what is the experience they're looking for, so that we can guide our development team in the correct way. So this is really neat for that kind of data. Let's take a look at a second list. What we have here is, hold on. Clear my filters. All right, so we've got a bunch of assets in here. We've got laptops, we've got servers, we've got network switches. That's the name. We've got an asset type. They don't always match because it's just dummy data. The status, whether it's under maintenance, available, where the location is, who is assigned to, or if it's available, purchase date, warranty, et cetera, et cetera. So in this case, we've asked our Bamboo Wizard what laptops are currently available for loan, right? So we've got asset names, laptops. This, we're going to get into this a second, why it says projector here. But these are ones that are unassigned and available for loan based on their status. Even though description may say differently, we'll find out that the data is actually correct against the available. If we're asking who's assigned a projector in branch office B, right, it gives you all the assets that are there. Now, what's interesting is we put Bamboo Tabify at the top, which allows you to tab web parts together rather than having them all on one page. So what I've done is I've actually assigned Simple Search, which is our search product over here, into the other tab. So if I want to look at, what was that asset? It was 1100. Asset 1100. And do a search, I'm going to get Asset 1100 is actually a projector, but it's actually a laptop. So the type is a laptop. So this is just a data error in my list, which is kind of cool because AI found out that this type is actually a laptop, even though you're calling it a projector, right? And brought that up as available in there. And again, this is just using Simple Search paired with Wizard, right, to find the actual data within the list. And of course, if I open that up, I get the list item and I can check it out and go from there. So, being able to get to that list data is important, and pairing Tabify with Simple Search with the Wizard is a neat way to start combining multiple Bamboo products together in there. So if we look at this product and its configuration, again, our licensing allows you to put Bamboo Wizard on as many pages as you want against as many different lists. We can see we've got Tabify up here, and then Tabify is configured. So the first tab says Bamboo Wizard Asset Management. It's Simple Search. We've got a bunch of different tab styles, so we'll change that to outline. Go ahead and save that. So we can see a different little tab setting. And then we've got Bamboo Wizard here. So the AI prompt is pushing to this, right? What laptops are currently available for loan, and add a title that repeats the question. So you can see we got a little more explicit with our questions here. And then we're using the OpenAI ChatGPT. And what's nice is if I use this, let's say the smartest model, and I go ahead and save that, and let's republish this page, you can see that the AI will start interpolating different answers against the data, but also giving contextual clues onto why it gave you that answer. So really the LLMs each LLM provides a distinct experience, and really based on what you want to show, it will begin giving you more information about it. Actually, that didn't do it, because down here on one of these, I was looking at it yesterday, it started giving interpretations. Let's try Nano. Push it. And again, this is all part of what you're curating for your users so that they get the answers they would expect based on the data and what type of questions that are needed. Again, all admin controlled. It's really not doing it. Oh well. It's AI. It sometimes goes one way, sometimes goes another, but that's kind of the fun of it. Let's take a look at this one. This is a list of operational issues, right, that show security, the status of the ticket, when it was opened, description of the ticket. And you can see we've got a whole bunch of tickets in here, right? Again, rather than going through and filtering issues, we can use AI to create a list of things that are important to the user. So in this one, here's a summary of all open issues from the past 7 days, right? And it's giving a list of information related to that. What is tracking the main cause of downtime for tickets created between 5:15 and 5:30? Very specific, but it gives you a nice description of what are the main things that are out there. But I think it was this one that I was able to actually get summaries of what are those main issues and what it was tracking by changing the model. Let's go ahead and use the smart model and then republish it. And again, some models are faster than others, we found, and some models are really necessary to spend their time imagining the data and creating the answer. So this smartest model is a little bit slower than the Nano or the Mini. Let's just see what it comes back with. All right, so you can see down here, it's got a note with this different model, right? So it gives you the issues, right? So it says the first question, only issues with open status was created between those dates are included. For the second questions, all issues created between are shown regardless of status, with their description as the main cause. Since no explicit cause field exists, right? It's showing the main cause, right? Dates are formatted this way. If you need to be more specific, please clarify. So this is where we're going to start getting into where you can start asking add-on questions based on the data you have here. It would be nice to have links to the list right now, but we just don't really have it. So again, with this one, if you wanted to see issue, 1055, we could jump over to simple search and put in 1055, do a search. Oh, maybe that's not it. Oh, it's issue ID. I'm sorry. And then we actually get the details of the issue that links right to it. So again, paired with our simple search, it becomes a pretty neat way to get to the issues and edit them and find the like. But again, what we're trying to do is add context and meaning by allowing you to put a directed AI chat or questions against list data to pull back information for the users that's actionable and in real time. So that's the full demo that we wanted to show on the product, just to show you things that are upcoming. This is not working right now, but what we can see here, and I know there's a couple people that would be interested in this that are on here. Here's our KB product, right? And we've got a whole bunch of articles that allow you to look at articles in a rich text, search for articles, rate them, and the like. But in addition to just the basic search or our fuzzy search, we're adding in ask a question that would then allow the AI to interpret the content of the articles within KB and provide an answer that is meaningful based on the data it has here, right? And that's the difference between the search up here or the other search that searches everything. What I'm trying to do is create a directed search against my KB, right? So imagine, error codes, imagine how do I fill out a something something. Instead of getting just search results, you're actually going to get AI results against the data that's contained within this specific knowledge base. So very cool. Still working out the bugs on it. We get a lot of throttling issues that we need to get through, which is typical when we build products. But this is sort of the future of where it's coming. And what's nice on this is you can have a lot more Azure settings in here where you can set the temperature, your max tokens, the probability mass, the chunk size, again, putting your API keys, and then also different prompts that really get in here. So it gets at the API level, dealing with the LLMs, there's lots of things that you can set that improve the user experience against the data for that particular use case. And what we're doing is creating an ability for you to curate as an admin those settings to give the best results back for your users based on that use case versus just giving them a chat and really just free-forming it, right? Again, that's great, but we think that there's also a way to do that is it. So yes, you would need access to an LLM. Now we are using both ChatGPT, we're going to use Grok, we're using Google, but you can also use Azure AI, which is part of your Microsoft 365 subscription. That's the Foundry. So that the LLM could be within your organization if you don't want to then go outside your organization, right? So the LLM is needed. We did not create our own LLM. We're not making an LLM out of your data. What we're doing is using the existing LLMs to interpret the data that you have to provide answers back. We're like the middleware that makes it all work. All right. What we'll do after this is we're going to send an email out with a recording to this if there's no additional questions. And then if you're interested in trying the product or having a follow-on conversation, that's really what we're looking for, as well as just showing the excitement around what we're building here. To really AI enable what we have both product wise as well as creating something new and a new experience with a new product that's out there. So any questions before we wrap things up? If I can get a reaction, whether you like this with a thumbs up or maybe a surprise or anything, that would be awesome as well. Oh, very nice. Great. I'd like to see that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That looks great. So we'll send that around, and then if you want to schedule a meeting with me and my team, there'll be a link in there to do that. And we would really love to get you to try this product out as it is today, to get your feedback in shaping its future. So welcome to the brand new world. Thank you all, and hope that was informative. So have a great day. Oh, I got one question coming in. Oh no, I think she just left. Awesome. Thank you all so much.